There are many hardships a person can endure: failure, pain, loss, rejection. Yet there's one silent force that can quietly unravel someone from within: an uncontrolled mind. It's not always obvious, and most people don't even realize it's happening until their life starts slipping away. This story is about Victor, a man whose mind became his greatest enemy, and how losing control of his thoughts led to losing control of his life. Let's step into Victor's world and see how this invisible battle unfolds. Victor's life from the outside looked perfectly ordinary. He had a decent job, a circle of good friends, and a small apartment tucked away in the city. People greeted him with smiles, and he seemed to fit right in. But beneath the surface, Victor was fighting a battle no one could see. He wasn't exhausted from work or social obligations. Instead, his exhaustion came from his own mind, a relentless storm of thoughts that never seemed to rest. Every morning, Victor's mind launched an attack before he even got out of bed. Thoughts raced through his head. You're already behind. You'll never succeed. Look at everyone else doing better than you. These voices were constant, never giving him a moment's peace. The day hadn't even started, and Victor already felt defeated. The battle wasn't against the world, it was against himself. Victor's mind never stayed quiet, even during work hours. Every small mistake became a major catastrophe in his mind. He replayed errors over and over, unable to let go. Instead of focusing on his tasks, he was trapped in a cycle of overthinking and self-criticism. The pressure mounted, making it harder for him to concentrate and perform well. His mind turned simple challenges into overwhelming obstacles. Even when Victor tried to rest, his mind wouldn't allow it. Instead of relaxing, he felt guilty for not being productive. The moments meant for recovery became moments of anxiety. He couldn't escape the feeling that he should always be doing more, achieving more, and never stopping. This constant guilt drained his energy and made rest feel impossible. Victor's mind was especially cruel when he saw successful people online. He compared himself endlessly, feeling inferior and inadequate. The comparison became a poison, slowly eroding his self-worth. Instead of celebrating others' achievements, he saw them as reminders of his own perceived failures. This toxic cycle made it harder for Victor to enjoy life or believe in himself. As the poison of comparison spread, Victor stopped enjoying life. He lost interest in things that once brought him happiness. Sleep became elusive, and his nights were filled with restless thoughts. Without proper rest, his focus faded and his belief in himself weakened. Victor's body was alive, but his mind was collapsing under the weight of constant self-criticism. At first, no one noticed Victor's struggle. People are experts at hiding their internal battles. Victor still laughed at jokes, replied to messages, and showed up to work. On the surface, he seemed fine, but deep inside, he was losing control. The disconnect between his outward appearance and inner reality grew wider each day. Once the mind loses direction, life begins to fall apart quietly. Victor's thoughts became scattered and unfocused. He struggled to make decisions and lost motivation to pursue his goals. The sense of purpose that once guided him faded away, replaced by confusion and uncertainty. His life started to unravel, one unnoticed thread at a time. One day, Victor made a small mistake at work. It was nothing serious, something anyone could have done. But his mind turned it into a disaster. He replayed the error endlessly, convinced it proved he was useless. The fear of being replaced haunted him, and his anxiety grew stronger with every passing hour. What should have been a minor setback became a major crisis in his mind. For hours, Victor's mind repeated negative thoughts. You're useless. You always ruin things. They're going to replace you. These words echoed in his head, making it impossible to focus or find peace. The mental noise drowned out any hope or confidence he had left. Victor was trapped in a cycle of self-doubt and fear. At the end of the week, Victor's anxiety became unbearable. He couldn't escape the feeling that he was failing at everything. The pressure built up until it felt like he was carrying a heavy weight on his shoulders. His mind was no longer a place of refuge, it was a battlefield filled with fear and doubt. Soon after, Victor lost his job. It wasn't because he lacked skill or ability. The real reason was that fear had destroyed his confidence. Without confidence, his performance suffered and he couldn't meet expectations. The loss of his job was a turning point, marking the beginning of an even deeper struggle. When confidence disappears, performance follows. Victor's belief in himself was shattered, and it showed in his work. He hesitated, second-guessed every decision, and struggled to complete tasks. The loss of confidence created a domino effect, impacting every area of his life. Without self-assurance, even simple actions became difficult. After losing his job, Victor's situation became even worse. The loss of routine and purpose made his mind more chaotic. He felt isolated and unsure of what to do next. The anxiety that once centered around work now spread to every part of his life. Victor was caught in a downward spiral, unable to find a way out. Without a job to anchor his days, Victor's sense of isolation grew. He spent more time alone, avoiding friends and social situations. The loneliness made his thoughts even louder, and he struggled to connect with others. Victor's world became smaller and his mind became more overwhelming. Victor began to avoid his friends, feeling embarrassed about his situation. He didn't want to explain why he lost his job or admit how much he was struggling. The fear of judgment kept him from reaching out, and his relationships suffered. The support he needed most was out of reach. With no income, Victor faced mounting financial pressure. Bills piled up and he worried about losing his apartment. The stress of money problems added another layer to his anxiety. Victor's mind raced with worst-case scenarios, making it hard to think clearly or plan for the future. Victor's sleep became even more disrupted. He lay awake at night, unable to quiet his mind. The lack of rest made his days harder and his thoughts more chaotic. Without sleep, Victor's ability to cope diminished and his mental health continued to decline. Victor lost motivation to search for new opportunities. The fear of failure and rejection kept him from trying. He felt stuck, unable to move forward or make changes. The loss of motivation was another sign that his mind was controlling his actions, not the other way around. Victor's physical health began to decline as well. He stopped eating properly, lost weight, and felt tired all the time. The stress and anxiety took a toll on his body, making it harder to recover. Victor's mind and body were both suffering, and he struggled to find relief. The longer Victor struggled, the more his self-doubt intensified. He questioned every decision and wondered if he would ever recover. The lack of confidence made it impossible to take risks or try new things. Victor's world became smaller and his mind more restrictive. Victor was caught in a cycle of fear. Every setback reinforced his belief that he couldn't succeed. The fear of failure kept him from trying, and the lack of action made him feel even worse. This cycle became a trap, making it harder for Victor to escape his situation. As time passed, Victor began to lose hope. He couldn't see a way out of his situation, and the future looked bleak. The loss of hope made it harder to find motivation or take action. Victor's mind was filled with despair and his spirit was fading. Victor's relationships suffered as his mind became more chaotic. He withdrew from friends and family, unable to share his struggles. The lack of communication created distance, and Victor felt even more alone. The impact of his uncontrolled mind reached every corner of his life. Victor missed opportunities because he couldn't see them. His mind was too focused on fear and failure to notice chances for growth or change. The inability to recognize opportunities kept him stuck in his situation, unable to move forward. Regret became another heavy burden for Victor. He replayed past mistakes and wondered what he could have done differently. The weight of regret made it harder to move forward, and Victor felt trapped by his own memories. Victor's mental exhaustion reached its peak. He felt tired all the time, unable to concentrate or find joy in anything. The constant battle with his thoughts drained his energy and made life feel overwhelming. Victor's mind was no longer a source of strength, it was a source of pain. Victor realized he was losing control of his life. The inability to manage his thoughts made it impossible to make decisions or take action. He felt powerless, watching his life slip away without knowing how to stop it. Victor's battle was invisible to everyone around him. He looked normal on the outside, but his mind was in chaos. The struggle to control his thoughts was constant and the pain was real. Victor's story shows how internal battles can be hidden yet deeply impactful. Victor's experience highlights the importance of mental control. Without it, even the strongest people can lose their way. The ability to manage thoughts and emotions is crucial for a healthy, fulfilling life. Victor's story is a reminder that mental health matters just as much as physical health. It's important to recognize the signs of an uncontrolled mind. Negative thoughts, constant anxiety, and loss of motivation are all warning signals. By noticing these signs early, people can take steps to regain control and prevent their lives from unraveling. Seeking help is a vital step in regaining control. Whether it's talking to friends, family, or professionals, support can make a difference. Victor's story shows that internal battles are real and reaching out for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Building resilience is key to overcoming mental struggles. Learning to manage thoughts, practice self-compassion, and develop healthy habits can strengthen the mind. Victor's journey reminds us that resilience is built over time through small steps and consistent effort. Self-awareness is a powerful tool for regaining control. By understanding his thoughts and emotions, Victor could begin to change his patterns. Self-awareness helps people recognize triggers and make conscious choices, leading to a healthier mind and life. Mindfulness is another strategy for managing thoughts. By focusing on the present moment, Victor could reduce anxiety and regain control. Mindfulness practices such as meditation and deep breathing help calm the mind and create space for positive change. Developing healthy habits can support mental health. Regular exercise, balanced nutrition, and proper sleep all contribute to a stronger mind. Victor's story shows that small changes can make a big difference in regaining control and improving well-being. Replacing negative thoughts with positive self-talk is essential. Victor learned to challenge his inner critic and encourage himself instead. Positive affirmations and supportive words can rebuild confidence and help people move forward. Setting small, achievable goals helps regain motivation. Victor started with simple tasks, building momentum and confidence. Small successes create a sense of progress and make larger challenges feel more manageable. Reconnecting with friends and family provided Victor with support and encouragement. Sharing his struggles helped him feel less alone and more understood. Connection is a powerful antidote to isolation and can help restore hope. Victor learned valuable lessons from his experience. He realized the importance of mental health and the dangers of ignoring internal struggles. By reflecting on his journey, Victor gained insight and strength to face future challenges. With time and effort, Victor found new purpose. He set fresh goals, pursued new interests, and rebuilt his confidence. The journey was difficult, but Victor's determination helped him regain control and create a more fulfilling life. Victor's journey is ongoing. He continues to face challenges, but now he has tools and support to manage his mind. The story of Victor reminds us that mental struggles are real, but recovery is possible with persistence and help. Victor's story is a message of hope for anyone struggling with their mind. It's a reminder that internal battles can be overcome and that life can be rebuilt. By taking small steps and seeking support, anyone can regain control and find happiness again. In summary, Victor's story shows how an uncontrolled mind can quietly destroy a person's life. But it also demonstrates the power of resilience, self-awareness, and support. By recognizing the signs, seeking help, and making positive changes, anyone can regain control and build a brighter future. Let Victor's journey inspire you to take care of your mind and cherish your well-being.